how to sort some of these files. So I'm in my Chapter 1 folder right now. Remember, in the list version, in the list view, I need to, if I want to go to something before the Chapter 1 folder, I need to press the back arrow. This put me back into the pane view. I'm gonna switch it to list again. Okay. If you want to sort your files, so you've got files all over the place and they're in no particular order, there's a couple of ways to do this. You can, if you're in list view, you can click on this bar. You see that this bar is highlighted in blue and it has this little arrow right here. So what that's telling me is that right now the files in this folder are being sorted by name, so they're being sorted alphabetically, and they're being sorted alphabetically starting with the first one in the alphabet. Let me get some files that are not all starting with the same letter here. Okay, so let's look just in my Algebra 1 honors file. Okay, so I have all these files in here, and right now they're sorted in alphabetical order. If I click this bar, everything is going to sort backwards. So the A's are going to be at the bottom of the list, and the end of the alphabet is going to be at the top. If I click it again, then it'll resort it with numbers and A's at the top. I could choose to sort by the date modified, which is the last time that I went into that document and changed something. So if I click on that, then date modified turns blue, and right now I'm sorting from the most recent. I modified something today at 7:30 in the morning to back all the way back to 2007 is the last time that I opened this file. So you can again resort that with the oldest on top or the newest on top. You can also do size, kind. You're probably not going to use those very much. Okay. So now I also want to show you up here, if you right click or control click on the title of whatever folder you're in, it will show you the path on how you got there. So what this means is that my Algebra 1 Honors folder is on my desktop, and my desktop is in the Hall user file, which is in the users file, which is on this Macintosh HD, which is on my MacBook 41. So this is kind of all of the previous folders. So if I want to get to a different folder, I could click on it in here. I could click desktop and it'll take me to the desktop. Or I could also click on that over here in my places. I can go back to Hall or desktop or the shared, which is where you're going to find the comp lab drive and all of that stuff. Okay, so next we're going to see how you can find all of those files that you've saved somewhere, but you can't quite remember where you saved them. We're going to figure out how to get to those. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and click up where your searchlight is, your little magnifying glass, and just click right in that search bar, and you're going to type whatever you're looking for. So I'm going to look for something that has to do with graphing. Okay, so these are all my files that have to do with graphing. Right now you can see, first of all, it tells me that I've got 103 items that have graphing in them. And right now I'm searching for things that have graphing in the content of the file, which means that Algebra 1 Honors syllabus doesn't actually say graphing in the title, in the name of the file, but if I open it, somewhere in there I typed something about graphing. So if you want to be a little bit more specific and you want it to show only the things that have graphing in the file name, click on file name, and you'll see that it has narrowed down my list to only these files right here. Okay, so over here it's searching on this Mac or Hall. Probably for most of you that's going to give the same results either way because you're the only person using your laptop, so you shouldn't need to worry about that too much. But let's say that I came across the file I wanted. I wanted the 8th grade math mini quiz on graphing. And so I'm going to click on that. Now, when I click on it, it shows me information at the bottom here. It shows me the path where I can find that file. So what this means, I'm going to open a new Finder window. Okay, so I'm going to open something that looks exactly like this, but just a duplicate, just the same thing. So to do that, I'm going to go up here to File and choose New Finder Menu. It's the very first option, New Finder Window. Sorry, not menu. New Finder Window. So I click on that, and it just opens up another one. It might not start at the same place, but that's okay. I don't need it to. so I can move it around wherever I need it to be, and I can click back and forth between these two. Okay, so this particular file is in Hall, Desktop, so I'm going to click on the other Finder window. I'm in Hall over here, Desktop, so I'll put a little arrow, Desktop. Now after that it's in 8th grade math, chapter 10 extra. So I'm going to find 8th grade math. I don't want 6th grade math, so I'm going to close that little arrow. 8th grade math, and it's in chapter 10 extra. So I come in here and I find chapter 10 extra, and then it should be the file, 8m mini quiz graphing .x. So 8m, there it is. 8m mini quiz graphing .x. So there's where the file is. If I don't want it to be there, then I'm going to move it. So to do that, I'm going to keep both of these Finder windows open, and to move a file from one place to the other, I am going to find where I want it to go in one window. So I'll come up to this window. I don't want to be searching anymore, so I'll just click this little X. And I want it to be in, let's say, I want to put it into my documents instead. So I'm going to open up my documents with a little arrow, and I'm just going to plop it right in there in my documents. So I might even want to double click so that I get specifically into my documents. There's no other options in here. I'm out of all those other things. So I'm going to come back here and grab this document. So I'm going to click and hold so that I can drag it. So I'm going to start dragging it. You can see its faded title here. I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to drag it into the other window. Now, if you just if you let it sit there for a second and don't drop it yet, then it'll show you that other window. It'll bring that to the front. If I want to go back, I just go back into this one. I want to be in that one. It'll highlight this one. Now that I'm in the place I want to be, I drop it, and you can hear it makes a sound that goes bah, and now that file's in a new location. I just moved it. So now I know where it's going to be next time if I accidentally saved it to the wrong place. It's not in my other file anymore. It's gone. If I want to move it back, I would need to go back in here, grab it, drag it, wait until this opens up, and I can drop it right here. Let's say that I can do this moving without actually opening a second window. I could drag it back into chapter 8, let's say. So if I click right here and I drag and I just hover over chapter 8 for a second, it's actually going to open up chapter 8 in this new window for me. And then I can drop it into chapter 8. Okay, I don't want it in chapter 8, so I will pull it back out over to this window. And I can either drop it right on this chapter 10 extra, where it opens a new window, or I can just drop it directly into where it said all that chapter 10 stuff. Okay, so that's everything that I wanted to cover, I believe, about the Finder window. Yep, it is. So I hope you found it useful, and can join me for a different lesson on a different topic some other time. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.